Tubers, and welcome to Papercrafts by Cindy Ellen. Today we're casing Mary Polanco. So she gets spellbinders. I don't have spellbinders, so I am showing you my pretty pink posh stitched leaf borders. This is what we're going to use. There you go. See, that's what they look like cut out. Pretty cool. Yeah. I like them. She used her Spellbinders Kit of the Month. I really like Mary, and now I'm picking some backgrounds. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to use that background for one of them. And this is a foiled background that I've had forever, and I'm finally going to get to use it. And these are two alcohol ink backgrounds. I'm going to use one of them. Yeah, there we go. And these are some glitter gel backgrounds that I've made. I've had forever. Don't get too attached to it because I decided not to use those ones. No, because one time came down to it, I was like, yeah, I don't like these. I still don't like them. But that's okay. That is okay. Not a problem. She had an alphabet that came, or some sentiments that came with it. I did not have those. Love You is from, the love is from the Love You that came with Simon Says stamp. This hello with the bubble came from MFT. I cut off the bubble because the hello was just the right size. And the All the Feels is also an MFT die. I'm trying to show you that I've got it on some vellum that comes with its own sticky background, but I can't get it off of there, so, you know, there you go. Yeah, never mind. So I cut out those strips, those borders in glitter paper, in light green, in some holographic paper, which I'm going to use later on, and some dark green paper. So always nice. I figured you didn't need to see me cutting out things all the time. Mary saw some fish in her borders. I didn't see any fish in mine, so I just got some fish that I had. She also saw some flowers in hers. Didn't see any flowers in mine, so I got some hibiscus. These are from Sunny Studios. They're layering stamps. I really like Sunny Studios layering stamps. A little cheaper than Altenew as well, and work just as well. So we're going to start with this one. I didn't like the hello. While you pretty much can watch me do this. So I'm just going to let you watch me do this and put this card together, and I'm going to tell you about my friend Mary. Mary Polanco lives up in Maryland. She used to live down here in Florida. I didn't know her when she lived down here in Florida. I got to know Mary because I'm started off watching Corin Wiskman. And then I started watching Mary because Corey and she started doing a lot of collabs. So I started watching Mary, and Mary and I have a lot in common. Well, she has children of color. I have children of color. She's in the military. I was a military brat. We got to talking about things, and I just love her. She's great. We're both cheapskates, so we both like that a lot. Mary is currently getting her master's degree. She's raising two children. She's a wife, a mother, a crafter, a career woman. Oi, that woman just like does way too much. So, and she smiles and laughs through it all. Um, she also, you know, she supports her country and she supports everyone's right to have an opinion, and I think that's a really important thing. Um, so it's important to know that case means copy and selectively edit. So notice I don't have any of the same supplies that Mary had, but at the same time, I'm going to create cards that are similar. Mary took her supplies and she made diamonds out of the borders. And I couldn't do that with this glove because it's too big, and my little viney things were refusing to bend. But I can put it in the corners, and you'll see what I do. Anyway, back to Mary. So I have such respect for this woman and all of the stuff that she did. She reminds me of me. She's in her 40s, and in my 40s, I went back to school. I got a master's degree. I was raising children, career woman, crafter, hiker, all around. Like, yeah, I remember having that much energy. I don't anymore. I hope she keeps that much energy. I hope you check out her channel. And she is just the nicest person. I hope I am the nicest person, and I hope I remember to keep being that nice person all the time. I met her for the very first time at the very first On the Make event. I got there early. She was there early. I was there early. I went into the hall where they were having it in Maryland, in Bowie, Maryland, and I was setting up chairs, and I got to meet AJ and her daughter. AJ's her son, and her husband, and we were just setting up things and trying to figure out where things were, and I just so enjoyed talking to her, and she and I craft very similar ways. We have very similar viewpoints in like, that's outrageous. I'm not paying that. I bet there's something else I can use. And we laughed and we talked about that and said, yeah, there are a lot of things that we do. Some things are worth it. Some things are worth it. There are some clubs and ties that are definitely worth it. I buy as many American-made things as I can because I think it's really important to support our people and not buy things from Wish and not buy things from overseas. So that's important. While at the same time, some things I just am like, yeah, no, I'm not spending money on that. I don't own a Copic marker because I cannot make myself spend $8 on a marker. So that was that card. This is the second card. So the alcohol inks I used on this card are from Brea Reese. They're glitter inks. And don't buy Brea Reese glitter inks. Add the glitter later because that glitter comes off on bloody everything. Just so you know, her regular alcohol inks are amazing. And I don't know if you can see the colors. The colors were really cool. But the alcohol inks themselves, the glitter ink, the glitter in the alcohol ink, once it dried, it comes off on your fingers everywhere. So just be aware of that. And you might want to put it like, if you're going to use this, you might want to use it like, I don't know, in a shaker card where it doesn't matter if the glitter comes off, or spray it down really hard with hairspray before you try to put it in the card, because that was awful, just awful. Yeah. As you can see, it's quite shiny, quite shiny. So if you want all the shiny, that's great. But expect it to cover your entire place with glitter. So anyway, Mary's husband is amazingly nice. Mary's husband is as quiet as my husband. So that's always helpful. There's me trying to get all the glitter off my hands. It's very, very fine glitter too. So it's that glitter that like sticks to you, and 6 days later, you're like, I can't get this glitter off of me. Yeah. So, the Pretty Pink Potch stitch boundaries give you an ivy sort of leaf, a palm sort of leaf, and then this sort of like sort of a wide palm leaf and then a skinny palm leaf. And here I'm using the skinny palm leaf because Mary made the love card, and then she made a card with flowers, and then we're going to go to the third card. Yeah. This is my my glass block. You need to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy yourself a glass block. They're incredibly heavy for what they are, and they will hold down just about anything and while it's drying. And then you don't have to put your cell phone down on there and get glue all over your cell phone. I'm telling you. By the way, if you're having problems with this voiceover, this is my very first voiceover ever. Mary, you should be impressed because I had to figure out how to do this just for you. Yeah. So you're making me learn new skills. You've always made me learn new skills. So there we were, Mary and Corey and I don't know, there were I think 20 of us. And Mary was teaching us how to watercolor. And the first thing she said was, I got all these things from Dollar Tree. I got all these things from Dollar Tree. I'm like, yes, I want to know this woman more. So, to this day, Mary and I still call each other. And really nice human beings. And most crafters are. Most crafters are really nice human beings. Some of us are not. You know, the hard part is there's still politics in the crafting world. There still is. This is me not trying to touch the glitter on this card, by the way. And then saying, what am I going to do now? Oh, I'm going to pop some stuff up. That's what I'm going to do because I can. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, Mary, by the way, is in the Air Force. I grew up in the Navy. My sister and I were born at Philadelphia Naval Base, which, by the way, no longer exists. And then we grew up at Newport News, Biloxi, and San Diego. And then when we got out of the Navy, notice I say we. It's actually my father got out of the Navy. My father served in the Vietnam conflict. The interesting thing is my dad served on the same ship as my grandfather. My grandfather served on the Sunrise Cruise, and my father served on the Sunset. Well, its inaugural cruise, and my father served on the Sunset Cruise, which was very interesting. And then, yeah. So they were both in the Navy, my grandfather and my father. And my son is a Marine. One of my sons is a Marine. Ooh. I tried to get him not to be a Marine because I think there's, the armed forces is the great leveler of the U.S., which is interesting because we don't really think about that. But the armed forces is really, there really is no white or black, Jew or free, slave or free. I mean, it really is. Everyone is equal in the armed forces. Unless you're an officer. Unless you're an officer. Base housing does an amazing job of equaling everybody out, you know? It really does. My sister and I, our first babysitter was an Asian American woman whose dad or grandfather, I don't know, and there's no one alive still to ask, lived with her, and so my sister and I learned to use learned to use chopsticks about the same time we learned to use a fork. What I'm doing, by the way, is I took one of the broadleaf borders, one of the light green broadleaf borders, and I cut it up to make leaves for the hibiscus because it looked kind of funky. So that's what I did. After I glued it down, I was like, yeah, this looks kind of dumb. So while I used the sort of skinny leaf, palm leaf, to separate the card in two, now I'm just chopping away at these leaves, and putting leaves down among the hibiscus. So the cool thing about most foam tape is it doesn't really go solid for a long time. So you can like pry that crap right back up and stick it right back down. So here you have it. So, and that's a little smaller than an A2 size card. So when I mount that, those leaves will be just fine. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be our third card, and this card is going to be the fishy card. I love that fishy card, Mary. I really did. So, and I too thought that one of my border dies looked like seaweed. So, especially if I chopped it up right. So, I didn't see fish in any of my border dies, but I did see seaweed. So now you're going to watch me gluing down all them seaweed. Yeah. So, back to the armed forces. It was a little after Labor Day. And one of the things that I think is really important in these days of conflict among so many of us, it is true that all lives matter, but you know what? We don't learn that, really. We don't learn that anywhere. What we learn, because we've got little enclaves of people everywhere, is that I'm different from you. And oftentimes we learn that different is scary. I mean, that's why we have what we're now calling Karens. We have these people who are like, oh, I don't know what these people are doing. I don't know why they're in my neighborhood. Oh, they're different than me. They must be doing something scary. No, they're not. They're just people. They're just people. And I think that's what I learned growing up. I mean, my playmates were all different colors, sizes. They came from all different places and all different kinds of cultures, and that was the great joy of my upbringing. And I will always be truly grateful for that. And that came from the Navy and base housing. And who knew? Who knew? I'm going to glue things down here. And most of the time I have discovered that people are people. If there is a big dude walking behind me and I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, if I turn around and say, hi, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, can you walk up here beside me? 9 times out of 10, the big dude's like, I was wondering about that. I didn't mean to scare you. Can I walk you home? Can I do blah, 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 blah? And, most people are not scary. And that's kind of important. Important. If we talk to each other, it's amazing how unscary we are. We don't need police to talk to each other. We need mouths. We really do. I had a lot of fun making this video, by the way. So kind of an interesting story. So I knew I was going to case Mary, and last week I had my infusions. My infusions are this, it's a drug I take, plus they have to give me a steroid. So the steroid keeps me a bit awake, just a bit. So the actual filming of this video took place at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was very quiet in the house. It was very quiet. So easy to do a voiceover because there is actually no voice on the original video. So the second time I met Mary and Corey was down in North Carolina for the second On the Make. Lots of fun. Corey's mom lives down. It was at the beach. It was Christmas in July. It was so much fun. Um, Corey's mom is an excellent cook. We all had a rousing time. It was great. This is where I decided I needed more green on my card, by the way. Yeah, that's not enough seaweed. When in doubt, more seaweed. This is how you can also tell I live in Florida, where there is lots of seaweed. Yeah. So, more seaweed. The fish are coming. I promise you, the fish are coming. So we're sitting around, we're hanging out, we're laughing, we're giggling, and we all sat together at the very back table, had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Really. Holding down all the seaweed. Sort through fish. So this is the, now I can't remember, the Adorned, well, it doesn't really matter. It's a fish set from MFT that I believe is no longer available. So it comes with like a base layer and then an over layer that puts like a lace thing on top of the fish. So pretty. But I don't think it's available anymore. If it is available, I will put it down below. If not, y'all are just gonna have to grin and bear it. As you can see, so one of the things that I do a lot of is that when I don't know what to do, I sit around and watch stupid crime shows and like make fish, or I make flowers, or I make hedgehogs, or I just take a stamp set and I play with it, and then I stick them in my drawers. I have a couple of drawers, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them, that have little containers in them that hold square containers. Dollar store, amazing dollar store. By the way, if you do this, see what I just did there? I took a 1/2-inch strip of foam tape, cut it into 3, and then cut across it to make skinny strips to fill in the fish. That works really well. The scissors I'm using are the serrated scissors. I think those are serrated 5-inch scissors, maybe 3. I don't know what size they are. They're Tim Holtz serrated scissors. They work great on foam tape. They really do. I highly recommend them. You do have to clean them off with good old alcohol every once in a while. Just rubbing alcohol. You don't need to like the super duper stuff. But they work really well. However, do not let your parrot get a hold of them because your parrot will eat the covering off of your scissors. Your parrot will also try to eat foam tape because, I don't know, there's something about foam tape that parrots love. Yeah. So watch me put this foam tape on this fish that I will then not use because, why not? So yeah. So one of the things about going to events is that events let you get to know people. So at those events, I also got to know Jessica Francisco, A Card Day's Work, and Roberta Sandler from Roberta's Cards, and oh my gosh, I got to know so many people. A whole bunch of people from North and South Carolina. I think Angela Stover, and just, we're a nice community. We are a nice community. And crafting is so often, oh, maybe it's not that one I didn't use. Maybe it's the long-handled one I didn't use. That one. That one I said, yeah, never mind. Because it was green and I decided it was a little too much green. And I think going to crafting events, going to scrapbooking events, going to scrapping expos or stamp expos is a good way to get to know people. No one is standoffish. Um, Jeff Lindbergh and I became friends because we both live here in Orlando, and we just started talking. Stan Collar and I became friends because we just started talking. And that's the way you get to be friends. I can't wait to meet Kelly Taylor. I can't wait to actually physically meet Poppy Zilski. She and I have conversations on Instagram all the time, and we laugh at each other. We just laugh at each other. I'm pretty sure Cassie Zilski is my third twin. Yeah. Because, oh man, I have the same sense of humor. So that's me deciding I didn't have enough poofy tape on the fishtail there. That's me deciding I can't figure out how to get the paper off without having the poofy tape come off. There you go. Hey. Yeah, this one's going to be the hello card. Okay, Mary, my fish are bigger than your fish. Yeah, they are. My fish are bigger than your fish. But I didn't see any little fish. And again, it's a little smaller than an A2 card front, so I can mount that on an actual card, and it won't stick out anywhere. I doubt use your whole hand. Flop. Yay! Very cool. Like it a lot. That's me looking at that going, no, that's disgusting. I don't want to do that. What am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know what I want to do. Okay, maybe one of these. Okay. All right. Here we go. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yay! So, sometimes you change your mind. That's okay. Yeah, brown and silver and black and white, and it didn't work. But here, I'm finally going to get to make one that looks a lot like Mary's cards. Yay! I actually made a diamond shape. Yeah. So the other thing is Mary made 2 thank you cards, a love card, and a hello card. I didn't need any more thank you cards. So that was part of my problem here was I didn't need any more thank you cards. I had just finished making like 15 thank you cards, and I'm like, So, casing, copying, and selectively editing. So I'm making all the feels cards. I made that instead. And hello, and love you. And I made one card that doesn't actually have I got glue on things. Because at this point it's like 3 a.m. I'm doing these cards. Why? Well, because, steroids. I don't know how steroids affect you guys, but every time my doctor's like, I'm going to give you a course of steroids. I'm like, please, no. Don't do that. Other people tell me it helps them clean their house. I'm like, no, it'll keep me awake for days. So unfortunately, the way I cut the first one, I'm going to have like double leaves. I'm going to have the same leaves everywhere. So I'm trying to decide which side I want the same leaves on, because I'm going to have the same leaves. Plan this out better, Cynthia. plan this out better. Oh, well. Thinking, thinking, thinking. It's too late now. Just glue it down. You know, it's only card makers who think of this stuff. Other people look at it and go, wow, that's a beautiful card. How did you think of that? They don't think of these things like, oh my gosh, there's too many of the same leaf on the same way. Can I flip it around? What's going to happen? No, because the nose are the same there. It's like, just glue it down, Cindy. Just glue it down. Yeah. Because, yeah, other people, man on a galloping horse ain't going to see it. So just glue it down. You know what? Every single time I've given people cards, they're like, oh my God, this is wonderful. And, my friend Kathy Rakusin says, remember the trash factor. They aren't going to last forever. There's going to be a lot of people. So I'm going to give this one. There's going to be a lot of people who are just going to throw it out. So I'm going to give this one to somebody who's going to be like, oh, that's lovely. Doink, right into the trash. All right, now, I promise you, I bought this roll of vellum that came on sticky paper. It's like almost impossible to get off. But here's your pointy tweezers. Look at this. Ta-da! And you also don't have to worry where you put the sticky behind the vellum because there's sticky all behind the vellum. Kind of like a Xyron thing, but I don't have to own a Xyron thing. Ta-da! Look at that. Very cool. Black and white and shiny. Very cool. All right. It's the finale. In other words, these are all the cards. Here they are. All right. All of them have a little sparkle. I honest to God, I've decided not to decorate them. So notice I also don't center my cards. That way nobody knows if they're off center. That was me going, well, that was dumb. Why don't I just put them all in the middle of the thing? As I said, be careful of that glitter. It gets everywhere. Oh, wait a minute. I should put them in the middle here. Oh, yeah, that works. Oops. There we go. Hello? Also, this is the glitter pads from DC Cardstock, Design Cardstock, whatever. It comes from, I think, Joann's. Man, that glitter gets everywhere. Do not buy that glitter paper. Yeah, get something else. And there's all the feels. On the other hand, they also make a holographic shiny paper that works really well. So there they are. Thank you, Mary, for the lovely inspiration and your friendship.